Hello and welcome to all. In today's session, we will see test kit design techniques. Okay, before we start, first we'll understand what are the test kit design techniques. Test kit design techniques is a systematic methods to design effective and optimized test cases. It will help to achieve maximum test coverage, reduce the redundancy, early defect detection. And remember, good testing is about the thinking, not just executing. Okay. So further, we'll classify test kit design techniques into the two types. One is the black box testing, another is white box testing. Okay, so black box testing, as we know, no code knowledge is required. Okay, focus on the user behavior or the expected requirements. Whereas white box testing, we need to go ahead with the code level testing and our mostly focus on the logic and the flow. Okay, so for to understand the test kit design techniques in more details. So we'll consider the login screen. Okay, so this is a login feature, and if you see, we have a username, email address field, we have password, we have remember me checkbox, and we have login button. And our business requirements is saying fields cannot be empty. Okay, username can be email or username. Okay, minimum username length validation. That means so user should give minimum username like we can say 4 characters. Okay, then successful login redirects to home page. Okay, so when user enters the valid username, valid password, click on the login. Okay, the expectation or the business requirement is like it will display the home screen. Okay, so we'll consider these business requirements and we'll design test cases as part of login feature. Okay, so we'll start with the black box testing techniques. Okay, so black box testing techniques is the functionality, okay, without knowing the internal code structure. So we are verifying the functionality only or the expected behavior without knowing the internal code structure. Okay, so now if you see, the main focus of black box testing is the input validation, then business rule, and the user behavior. Okay, now in black box testing. Okay, first we'll start with the equivalence partition. Okay, so it divides the inputs into the valid and invalid partition. So now here you can see, so we have valid username. Okay, here you can see login success. Okay, for here we can see invalid username or empty. Okay, and it will give the error message. Okay, so what is the basically equivalence partition? Okay, now here if you see, we enter the same data, valid username, okay, and both the cases we are expecting login success message. Okay, so equivalence partition is reduces the number of the test cases and it improves the coverage. Okay, next is a BVA, is nothing but the boundary value analysis. Okay, it tests values at the edges of a allowed range. Like for username, okay, minimum length, if we are saying or the business requirement is saying 4 characters, then we will check it. If user entered the 3 characters, we are expecting or the business is expecting error message should get displayed. Okay, when user enters the 4 character or 5 character, it should accept. Okay, so most defects occur at boundaries. Okay, so this is the boundary value analysis. Then next, decision table testing. It is used when outcome depends on multiple conditions. Okay, for example, valid username, valid password, then we are expecting login success. If user enters the valid username, invalid password, then we are expecting error message. Same way for the invalid username, valid password, or invalid username, invalid password, we are expecting error message. Okay, so as part of decision table testing, our focus is the business logic and rule based system. Next, state transition testing. So, state transition testing, its system behavior changes based on the previous state. Like, for example, if we consider login feature, okay, user logged out, again logged in. Okay, so when user logged in, again it will logged out. So, two states is changing. Okay, and in advanced scenario, if you consider account locked after multiple failed attempts, okay, if user try to log in more than 5 attempts, okay, then we'll say user account gets locked. Okay, then next, error guessing. So this is the also one of the type of black box testing. Okay, so basically error guessing when we have experience based testing. Okay, so we'll guess and we'll find out the issues. Like for example, okay, like SQL ingestion in username. Okay, we'll give the leading and trailing spaces when we are entering the username. Okay, like our requirement is like username minimum length should accept 4 characters. If user enters the 4 spaces, then we'll see what will happen. Ideally, it should give the error message. Okay, like incorrect username. Okay, so this is the like experience based testing. Okay, this is not mentioned in any requirements. Okay, then refresh after login. What will happen? Refresh after login or remember me. Okay, with invalid login. Okay, then next is a use case testing. It is nothing but the end-to-end user workflow testing. Okay, so here we can consider login use case flow, like open login page, enter the valid credentials, username, password, click on login. It should redirect to home screen. So this is the one of the use case, end-to-end use case, and the main focus is real user behavior. And here we'll check the business flow validation. Okay. Then next is the statement coverage. Okay, statement coverage is a part of the white box testing, and it execute every statement at least one. Okay, so now if you consider login feature, then empty field validation we are doing, then email validation, and we'll also do the success redirection logic. Okay, so it ensures no unused code will appear. Then next, branch or decision coverage. Then again, this is also part of white box testing. Okay, test both true and false outcomes of the conditions. Okay, like we'll check username field with empty. Okay, what is the it is coming? Okay, if it is not empty, okay, like you will give the correct format, then what will be the case? Then coverage matrix is the like what will happen if user enter the true or false. Okay, we'll check the both the decision. Okay, the next path coverage, it execute all possible paths in the code. Okay, like login path, if you consider empty inputs, what will happen? Error message should get it. If user enter the invalid username, valid password, error message should get it. If user enter the valid username, valid password, click on login, then success message should get displayed. Okay. Then next is a loop testing. Okay, so applicable when retry logic exists. Okay, this is useful. Like our requirement is saying after 5 unsuccessful attempts, okay, the user account should get locked. Okay, then here we'll keep the we'll keep one flag. How many attempts is trying? 0 attempts, 1 attempts. Okay, and maximum attempts. And after that, we'll display the error message. So we'll cover loop testing as part of white box testing. Okay, so here in summary, the testing selection strategy I have mentioned. Okay, if in case you are using the scenario input validation, then we'll go ahead with the black box testing. And in black box testing, as part of equivalence partition and the boundary value analysis, we'll consider this technique. Okay, if in case you are using the business rule, then decision table will use it. Okay, user flow. Okay, then we'll go ahead with the use case technique. Okay, and as I mentioned, like code logic. Okay, we'll go ahead with the white box testing. And for the edge cases, we'll simply go ahead with the error guessing. Okay, and this is the like we'll say types of test case design techniques. Okay, so for like here, if you see, it's divided into 3 types: structure based or white box testing techniques, then specification based or black box testing techniques, and experience based techniques. And if you go more details, like structure based testing, uh, we we already covered the statement coverage, decision coverage, condition coverage, then multiple condition coverage, and path coverage testing. Whereas in black box testing, like boundary value analysis, equivalence participation, decision table testing, state transition testing, use case testing, and experience based testing will cover error guessing and exploratory testing. Okay, and here we can see the black box testing, our main focus is on the functional correctness, verification of functional correctness, whereas white box testing main focus is the code reliability, Okay, and between which is the best techniques. Okay, then combination of both. Okay, as a full stack QA, okay, we need to consider both the techniques, white box and black box. Okay, combination of both. Okay, and last, effective testing is not about more test cases, it's about better test cases. Okay, so we need to design the test cases using the all these techniques. Then definitely we'll find out number of defects before it's moved to the production. Okay, and we'll give the quality product. Okay, if in case you have any questions, queries on test kit design techniques, please let me know. Thank you.